Back with another video, man. All right, in today's video we're gonna be working on the seat belts for the Corvette, man. So yeah, those of y'all who don't know, don't have a Corvette, whatnot, or even for some of y'all that got cars that are a different model but they are relatively old school, parts are not always easy to come by. And if you've been checking in on my other videos, you know that I'm changing up the color of the interior. Excuse me. Everything in there was more or less like a maroon. Pulled all the carpet, all the padding, all that good stuff. And I'm going with black carpet. Still going with red in there, but it's not as dark. But that being said, I wanted to go with some black seat belts, but I couldn't go with black seat belts, mainly because you can't hardly find them. The ones you can find, they want an arm and a leg for. I mean, that's any color. So you got to kind of, keep an eye out, whether it be, eBay, a couple other sites, or, get on some of the Corvette forums or whatnot. Or even in some of the groups on Facebook, to try to get with somebody who is either parting out a Corvette or, something like that, to try to find something that is reasonably priced. Because some of the stuff out here is, like I said, it's ridiculous. For some of the new ones that I saw, excuse me, especially for the price, again, you're getting something new, which I get it. But at the same time, where I'm not paying $400 or $500 for some seatbelts. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, especially if I can find some that are just as good, in just as good condition. You know what I mean? For a fraction of the price. Yeah, now don't get me wrong. Certain things you do want to spend money for. I.e., reason why I haven't gotten my weather strip yet. Because I've been a little bit all over the place. You may be able to find a full set of weather strip out there for $250, $300. Some people say they're good. Some people say, it's leaking in here and you should spend more. Then I've also seen people who have spent, $500, $600 on some of these other sites, whether it be Corvette mods, Eckler's, or some other places, to where, you spent $500, $600 on weather stripping and it's still leaking. So again, that could all be, relative to the installation. If you didn't get it down good enough, you didn't get, enough of your, sealer in there. Once you're putting it in those channels, getting it sealed in there, you don't get things in there the way they're supposed to. Of course, it's going to leak. So, I mean, that's kind of one of the things where it leads you to understand, well, some of that little bit, more cost-effective weather strip may actually work. Also, along with that, also seeing it's not as thick, so therefore it won't line up with the windows and some of the other stuff. So again, I'm still doing my research on that. Back to the seat belts, though, the ones that I found from a guy, which actually were the cheapest ones that I had seen, he wanted like $160. You know what I mean? Or best offer, which once I offered him $140, and then after, shipping and all of that, ended up being like $150. They look practically brand new, work like they're supposed to, and all of that. But this video, I'm actually going to be dyeing them, or using the vinyl and fabric spray. Because again, I still want black seat belts. The ones that I have, they're more of a cognac color, like a tan color. So those are not going to go with my interior and what I'm looking for. So the housing, probably just gonna paint that more of like a flat black. And then of course I have the spray paint that I need, or the vinyl and fabric paint that I need. Got 2 cans. Both of those 2 cans will work. Which, watching all the other videos of guys spraying their carpet, headliners, seats, excuse me, or pretty much anything else, it's worked fairly good versus trying to spray a darker material and try to get it lighter. Like, I just watched a video, a guy was trying to, or pretty much just showing how the fabric spray worked on darker surfaces or darker colors, and you want to go with a brighter color. So he had like some white vinyl or some white vinyl carpet and another material, but he had black, white, and red spray. So I mean, of course, the black, that covered up everything like it was supposed to, and good thing I'm going with black, so I don't have to worry about that. But trying to get that carpet and some of the other things, which mainly the main thing he had an issue with was the carpet, because again, you have all of those, you know, individual fibers sticking up. You know how carpet is made. Should I say the carpet that he was trying to spray, which the carpet that I plan on getting and replacing the carpet that I pulled out of there is not like the original carpet. The original carpet that was in there was more of kind of a shag rug type feel. It was longer carpet. Carpet that I'm going with to go back in there, it's a lot shorter, so maybe it may work on that. Don't plan on changing that color, but just saying for reference, if you're, you know, looking to change out your carpet, or you want to dye the carpet that you have, this spray may work for you. But yeah, like I said, going to paint the housing at the bottom of the seat belts, probably like a flat black, and I have the paint that I need to paint the seat belts themselves, so that'll take care of the seat belts. Still have to drop off my seats. I got to get with my interior guy and get those dropped off to him. Seats and the visors, pretty much the only other things that I have to do outside of getting my carpet in and all that good stuff, which I'm in no rush, because I kind of want to keep majority of my interior out, or when I take it to the shop to get painted, more than likely pull most of, if not all of, I'll probably just pull it all just to be on the safe side, because hey man, things happen, to keep it from getting overspray or something on there. But that's why I'm not in a rush of getting my carpet in and all that other kind of stuff. Right now I just had a Dynamat in there, which again, that video is out now, go check that out. Which once I pulled all of my carpet, the padding and all that other kind of stuff, was able to lay that sound deadening in there, which, like they say, it helps not only to try to quiet the cab, but also it kind of helps as a thermal barrier, so then that way when you're out driving around like I am now and it's a little bit warmer, when you have on your AC, it helps keep it a little bit cooler in there, and vice versa in the winter when you're trying to keep the heat in there. It keeps that heat in the cabin a little bit better, because it's not really going to do too much for the droning or the noise from the exhaust. So with that, got that done. Interior is pretty much wrapped up, so now I'm looking at rims again, because I actually reached out to another shop, which I should have got that content, which it was basically just a conversation between me and him, nothing really too much exciting. But the rims that I want to go with, he said that they're not, the offset won't work. So told him I'm just looking for, you know, some darker colored rims in that style. So even if I don't go with that rim, you know, I would like to go with something that style. But it's crazy, man. You're building a car, you just never think you're gonna run into all of these issues. It's always kind of been turnkey for me. A lot of the cars that I've had in the past have just kind of been like, all right, well, not really doing much to it outside of stereo, alarm, remote start, all that stuff, and then that's pretty much it. But with this one, I've touched pretty much everything on the car. I've been under the hood, changed a lot of those components. Still a few things that I still have to do under the hood in regards to the shocks and a lot of those bushings, which I just want to check them and make sure all the bushings and stuff are straight. Check my tie-in rods, all that good stuff, while I'm putting my shocks and all of that stuff on. And then there are just a few other things that I plan on laying my hands on, but it gives you a different feel, man, when you're out here building cars and you've touched every area of the car. Like I said, I've had pretty much all of the lights out. I've touched pretty much every part of the interior. I've been, you know, under the hood, changed fuel injectors, every part of the distributor cap, rotor, ignition control module, spark plugs, wires, thermostat. Excuse me, goodness. I keep burping. Just got through eating a few minutes ago. But yeah, man, it'll give you a different feel once you get done with the project. You know what I mean? It's not something that you just like, all right, well, cool. I'm just going to jump in a car that, you know, I took somewhere, which again, it's still kind of the same feeling, but I feel like you get a little bit of a different feeling when you're building it yourself versus taking it to somebody and paying somebody to do all the work for you. But it's still your vision. So I feel like it's still going to be a similar feeling, you know what I mean? Taking it somewhere and having somebody do all of the work, but pretty much making your vision come to life. I mean, bro, it's one of them things. But I'm gonna show y'all the seatbelts, and then, you know, y'all gonna be with me on each step of the process, getting these seatbelts done. And more than likely probably getting them in the car because they'll be black, so I don't have to worry about anything getting on them and them getting jacked up, you know. Actually, I may just put the driver one in there. I may keep the passenger one out of there, just based on the fact of I'm gonna have to pull all of that stuff again anyway once I pull the carpet, or when I put the new carpet in. So y'all stay tuned, man. Show y'all the seatbelts. All right, so this is what they look like. Like I said, fairly good condition. Had they came out of a low mile car. You can see there's hardly any scratches or anything on these. So I'm wondering if this is a pair that someone got when they went and did the recall, because they had a recall on these seat belts, which I tried to look into to actually get a set for free and get the color that I needed, but of course that time has come and gone. So like I said, man, they don't look hardly touched at all. Like they were sitting in a car somewhere. Like I said, the original color is still actually pretty decent. Just got this one up here because I've already started breaking down the other one so I can paint the housing and have my straps pulled out so I can get those dyed, which y'all will see here in a minute, which is fairly simple. I mean, all you're really doing is kind of popping these tabs back. Got 3 on this side, 2 over here on this side, these 2, and then I want to say it's 2 up in there, yeah. So once you pop those off, the back housing comes off, which I just want to get up in the lining of the inside of this, so therefore you don't see any of that in the cracks or whatnot, which I was going to take this piece out, but I don't want to disassemble them. I want to keep them how they are, so just taking this back plate off, and then once I get this back plate off, I'm just going to paint the back plate and then along the edge, and then paint the rest of the housing. And then once I get the housing done, I'm trying to think, do I want to do the housing first? I don't know, I may do my belts first and then do the housing after that. But I already have one kind of masked up already, so. That's another thing I thought was dope is the other section that he sent. They're already the right color, so I don't have to do anything with these. Not only the outer part, but the actual, I can keep from throwing it on the ground. The actual inner part is actually black as well, so that actually works out, so I don't have to mess with these at all. So those are already ready to go. So I'm thinking I may wipe them down and just kind of dust over them a little bit. Maybe, maybe not, because again, they're going to be in between the seat. The only part you're really going to see is like from here up. So let me just leave those as is, especially being that they're already, like I said, the color that I need them to be. All right, man, so I got it laid out. As you can see, it's already got a little bit of paint on the backboard there. I already did want to kind of see it would come out, which I'll show you that one here in a minute, but I figured I'd go over the process of lightly spraying it, or as they say, putting a tack coat on there before I really start going heavy, so. All right, man, so light tack coat on there. Let that sit for about 5-10 minutes. Then I'll go over it again, maybe put about another 2 coats on there. Let that sit up, and then I'll flip it, hit the other side. One thing that I noticed from doing the passenger side, excuse me, is that it kind of stiffens up the seatbelt a little bit. But from all of the videos that I watch of Cat spraying some of their interior, it does say that it makes the whatever it is that you're spraying a little bit more stiff, which will start to wear off as you start using whatever it is that you're spraying. So whether it's your carpet, whether it's seat belts, you know, pretty much anything else. The only thing you really don't too much notice it on is if you're redoing your seatbelt, or not seatbelts, but your seats. Because of course, you don't really feel the stiffness in those. You're naturally just going to feel the cushion that's in there. So let this sit up a little bit more and then go over it a couple more times. All right, so coming out pretty good so far. It's a little bit shinier. I got the gloss instead of the matte, which depending on how the sun hits the seatbelts, it already has kind of a gloss look to it. So I don't think you'll really be able to tell too much once I get it done. But I'll let this sit here and dry up a little bit more. Let it tack up a little bit more, dry up before I flip it and get to the other side. So therefore the other side gets just as much coverage. So that way they kind of even out. And just kind of let them dry up a little bit more before I put that third and final coat on there. Kind of let this wind die down a little bit too. So that way I'm getting more paint on my seat belts and not just blowing in the wind. You know what I'm talking about? All right, so pretty well dry, so we're gonna go ahead and jump on these final coats on each side and see how she looks. Said she came out pretty good. Get it to focus. Get in the lights. Got a little bit better light. This camera to focus. But yeah, man, came out pretty good. Like I said, they're a little bit stiffer than usual, but the more you kind of move them, they free back up. So got driver side done, and this finished tacking up. I get it back in there. But again, it's pretty well dried, so I'll probably work that out a little bit more. Get it working a little bit more freely. As you can see, the passenger side is already back in here. pretty good, man. Versus not being able to find, you know, the black seatbelts that I wanted to get in here, which I wanted to buy them already black, but like I said, the ones that he had, they actually connect. These were already black, so I didn't have to worry about these, so that was a plus. But trying to find seatbelts, you know, other places, whether it be eBay or other places, they were all listed as parts, you know, so didn't want to order something that didn't work, but of course these work just fine. Come up out of there. So pretty good, man. Can't complain at all. Working pretty good, looking pretty good. Before I know it, I can throw this thing back together. Once I get the rest of my interior together, we'll be in the game.
Playtime's over, boy.
Okay.